Good. How are you? Well, I'm not good, but that's my automated response.
Oh, I know I do that all the time too. And then it's like, well, really? Sometimes it's like, yeah, no, not really. But
Yeah, it's like that's an automatic response that a lot of us do. We just say, "Oh, I'm fine," because you don't want to be like negative, but yeah, I'm not great.
oh, well, hopefully this show helps with like
Yeah,
working through a little bit of that, right? With the intuition
yeah,
and everything. So, um,
definitely.
before we jump into that, and this will give some time for some people to jump on here. I just kind of wanted to throw up here, not throw, wow, bring up.
Please don't.
Horrible choice of wording. Hold on, really quick. Just wanted to bring up, since this is part of the Get Haunted Paranormal Podcast program, Dee Dee and I thought it would be nice to share a little bit about Get Haunted on the show here. So, one of the upcoming events for Get Haunted is the Trifecta Experience, and it's going to be May 25th and May 26th. This is a phenomenal event here. This is 2 days. This isn't just one and done. This is a 2-day event with Ronnie LeBlanc, Ron Iacovetti, Lourdes Gonzalez, and Scotty the Medium. Phenomenal special guests just collaborating together in all the different areas of like, because we always think paranormal, you always think ghosts, right? Paranormal is so much more than just ghosts. It's also, this is going to cover cryptids with a Bigfoot hike, and this is also going to cover the whole realm of UFOs with a CE5 Skywatch event. So this is great. So 2 days, and you can either do both days or you can pick day 1 or day 2. We actually have day 1 is more of going to be more of like the UFO. So it's going to include the Pine Bush UFO and Paranormal Museum. On day 1, there's going to be a tour of the museum there, and then a CE5 Skywatch event, which I'm actually really excited about. I don't, Dee Dee has the UFO thing, right? Like
I would love to go to this. I mean, it's
you know, I wish
amazing.
you would come with us. I feel like this would be such a fun event to do together.
Yeah.
So that's day 1's more of like the UFO, the CE5, and a paranormal investigation at the Shanley Hotel. And then day 2 starts off with a hike with Ronnie LeBlanc, and he's going to go over different aspects of Bigfoot, and I think he's going to cover like how to incorporate a Bigfoot search basically in your hike, and go over all of the aspects that he has learned over the years with that, which I think is extremely exciting. So I'm not really sure where I fall with the Bigfoot thing. I do believe in it, but at the same time, I don't know if I believe what everyone else believes with it. Like, I don't know that it's just some like ape person walking. I don't know. Like, everyone has their own aspects, and I'm not trying to like squash anybody's theories on that, but definitely believe
You're the one that's going to end up running into Bigfoot because you're a little bit skeptical. I just want to know how you make that like call. Like when I watch the Bigfoot videos, they like make a call, and it seems like get response when they do that, like the noise or whatever they do.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
That'd be fun to learn, right?
Oh, it really would be. I actually got the honor of getting to meet the Packs, Ernie and Denise Pack, and they went through a little bit of how to do like big squatch hunt, like not hunting, I guess, like just spotting, like looking for like what to look for and what to expect, and it was really exciting. But that's day 2 is the Squatch hike, and it also is going to include workshops, which the workshops will include Staticom, which is an amazing thing that Ron and Lourdes do. I have never experienced connecting with spirit in quite the same way that they do. They have this really intricate, beautiful way of using the white noise to connect, and I could never do it justice, but they're phenomenal with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Oh, it's so cool. And then we're going to have tarot readings. I'm going to help out with doing tarot readings, and there are going to be witchstone readings, and Scotty the Medium is going to be doing readings. And then that whole night ends in another paranormal investigation. So this is like a lot of stuff in one weekend.
Yeah.
But you can absolutely find full details and tickets at www.gethaunted.com. So I highly recommend anyone who's interested in expanding their knowledge, they're wanting to know more, just getting just a little bit more knowledge and curiosity out of the paranormal Trifecta Experience in Napanoch, New York at the Shanley Hotel. I definitely recommend that one.
Yeah, that's an amazing. I mean, just there's so much to it. It's like everything you could ever want all in one package.
Oh my God, it really is. Yeah, like ghosts, cryptids, aliens, you name it, it's there, and just so many different people to talk to bounce theories off of. It's going to be a phenomenal. I don't think I've ever experienced anything quite like this before. Like, I don't think I've ever had a chance to like have all those aspects together in one event before. So this is exciting.
Yeah.
And just wanted to make sure that we reminded all of you that tonight, right after our show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Pac-Man Paranormal, and you can catch them on the Get Haunted public network, part of the Get Haunted Paranormal podcast program. So make sure that you tune in to Pac-Man Paranormal after our show.
Yeah. And Craig Owens is great. I was just telling Danny before we went live that I've investigated with Craig Owens twice. And he's absolutely amazing. And he's a historian and he's a great investigator. So like, don't miss that because it's really cool.
Oh, that's exciting. I can't wait. I'm definitely tuning into that one right after our show for sure. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so that kind of brings up where I'm at, but I guess we should say hi to everybody first.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see who's all here. There's a lot of people popping in already.
There are.
We have Michael. Hi, Michael. And we have Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Did you see the video I posted about pregnancy? Because she brought it up last time, right? About like kind of pregnant, having weird dreams. And so I did a whole little thing and I was hoping she saw it. I meant to tag her and I forgot.
I caught that. Yeah, you did that. Was it like 5 different things? 5
different types of dreams you might have when you're pregnant. Because so it means if you have a scary dream, it might be very unsettling and it kind of like brings the calm to the whole idea that, you know, it's just your mind processing what's happening. You're growing a person inside you, you know?
Sandy, I know her and I had talked. I think, I don't want to misspeak here, but Sandy, didn't you say you were having some crazy dreams lately? I think she was. I think
she did. Yeah.
Yeah. We also have Big Daddy Andy. What's up, Andy?
Hi.
D-hoot. Hi, Eric. And we have Kaylee. What's up, Kaylee? Hi, Lori. Stacy's in the house. What's up? That's everybody right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is so exciting. Thank you for sharing your Sunday with us. So our topic tonight, I'm excited for this. Intuition, Dee Dee.
Yeah. Well, we always like kind of talk about what we want to do next, and we try to go to dreams or tarot and somehow combine it. And my best friend of 38 years, 2 weeks ago on Monday, suddenly died unexpectedly when we're practically the same age. So we weren't, it was unexpected. And so I was thinking about her a lot. And she was sick. We were supposed to meet for lunch. I hope I don't cry. We're supposed to meet for lunch. She said, I'm really sick. I can't meet for lunch. My son makes these little fairy art paintings, right? And so I told her he really wanted to give her one. She lives like a mile away from me. So we drove over there and dropped one off for her. And she was really sick. So she was like wearing her bathrobe and I even told her, you don't have to answer the door or anything. He just wants to leave it for you. You can get it when you're up to it, you know?
Yeah.
And so she like just peeked out the door a little bit to wave to him because she was an RN. So she's a nurse. So she always thought of everybody else before herself. Aww. And so she got up and waved to him. And I remember thinking that she was so cute in her bathrobe because she always looked so like she looked impeccable, but she was super sick. I mean, obviously much more sick than anybody realized. Yeah. And so I had this really bad feeling like I was never going to see her again. And I thought, Dee Dee, don't be so dramatic, you know? And I was fucking right. And I had followed up with her during the week a couple of times, asked her, how are you feeling? She said she was feeling better. She had been going to work. So I'm like, okay, you know, she said she was going to get a diagnosis. And so everything was going to be fine. And the Monday after, her sister called me and she had passed away at home. She's just gone. So it made me think of intuition and how, you know, our intuition is real. It's giving us information, you know, whether we think it's real or not, it is. And it can help us in so many areas in life. And there could be a lot of fun things too. Like that's a sad thing, but there's a lot of fun things that have happened to me. And especially since I started doing a lot of dream interpretations, it's enhanced my intuition, and I'm actually much stronger at just getting, and it's like for me, it's a knowing. I just know something. I don't hear anything, nothing. It's just like, I immediately know. And that for me is my intuition.
That is, I feel like that's exactly what intuition is. Like you can't explain how you know it, right? But it's poof, it's there. And a lot of times I feel like when we get that information, we don't always know to trust it, right? So like we'll like brush it off or we won't take it as
Yeah.
seriously. And then later on we find out, oh my God, that gut feeling or oh, what I was sensing actually was true.
Yeah. And you can really develop it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just oh my gosh, Dee Dee, just to know that like you had that feeling with your friend and I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's heavy. I'm so sorry. And
It was.
I love, but like it's beautiful how like you're able to take something that was beautiful about her and like we're able to like bring that into this show tonight with intuition.
Yeah.
So it's a nice way to
And she
honor
would love
her.
that.
Aw.
And some of you guys may when with Paranormally Blonde, Sarah and I did a live and Kathy and I went to a cemetery in Riverside. And I know D Hoot saw it and Michael's seen it. And so we did an hour where we were in the cemetery, just doing a little bit of investigating and stuff. And so, we were going to do stuff like that again because she was into the paranormal too, so.
Oh, so this is perfect. And that this is, I love that. She would have loved this.
Yeah, totally.
We've got Wes is here. Hi.
Hi.
And Leanne. Hi.
Hi.
We had here, I don't know if Dee Dee wanted or sorry, do you want to know? Dee Dee, can you put a question to bed for her? Can what one eats affect their dreams?
Well, it can definitely affect your sleep. So like if you eat, you're not supposed to eat like probably a good 3 hours before bed. Because if you're just like, I know, I usually don't, but I mean, it anytime you're like got something that your body's trying to work on, it's going to keep you awake. And if you're trying to sleep and then you start to get stressed, it is going to affect your dreams. Yeah.
Oh man.
But I don't think a particular food will. It's just the heaviness.
Just the fact that
you food.
Yeah. Do you think because like your body has to take resources away from, I guess, like restoring, right? At that point to digest. So
yeah. Because I mean, it takes like what, a half an hour just to work it out of your stomach. And then it's got to go through the intestines, which takes a couple of hours. So your body's like working on all that instead of like
really not even
other stuff.
Resting. And then like your brain's not doing what it needs to do during sleep. Right?
Yeah.
So, oh man. Okay. Yeah. So I guess that can totally affect it. Yikes. But so I wasn't sure. What did Stacey say? Do I even want to put this up?
Never eat a gyro before bed. You'll wake up in a cold sweat.
Oh man. So when we talked about doing intuition for the show, like I know what intuition means to me, but I never really stopped to think like what the definition of it is, right? So I actually looked it up. And I looked up, I know I should have looked up more than 2 sources, but I looked up with 2 sources. So Oxford Dictionary and Wikipedia, which I know you're probably not supposed to rely on Wikipedia for much, but I do. So
yeah, I do too.
But Oxford Dictionary for Intuition says that it's the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning, which I think to me that makes sense, right? Yeah. Like I think I would define it that way also. And Wikipedia was sort of similar to that, the ability to acquire knowledge without the recourse of conscious reasoning or the need for explanation. And then it went into more detail about how it's direct access to your unconscious knowing or unconscious cognition. And they also say how like people refer to it as like a gut feeling or an inner sense. I just feel like that's probably how I would more define intuition too. Like, and I think it can come to you in any of your senses. So like, you know, how you were saying how it's sometimes you'll just know, right? Yeah. So it's just, that's part of like the senses. That's just knowing. But I feel like people might get little like pictures, little flashes of an image in their head. I know that's happened to me, not a lot, but like once or twice I've already had something like that, or just hearing something. And I feel like a lot of times symbolism, I feel like really comes into play with intuition, which
like having a synchronicity or something. Yeah.
And like we deal a lot with symbolism, especially with dreams, right? So I feel like then that makes sense that like you're connecting more with your intuition since you've been doing the dream interpretation. I feel like that makes a lot more sense to me because you're learning how to read into the symbolism.
Yeah. And I feel like dreams really are intuition talking to us, right? I mean, it's coming from a different part of ourself that we're not aware of when we're awake. And it's interesting because I just picked up a tarot deck, which I can tell you about, but and show you.
Ooh.
You haven't seen it.
I'm excited for it.
But one of the cards that was in it was talking about it's a lucid dreaming deck. So it was saying that people who want to lucid dream, you know, and think about your dreams, but you should be lucidly awake. So when you're awake, how aware are we all the time when we're awake?
Oh, no.
Are we lucidly awake? Most of the
Mm.
time, no. We're just like robots, just kind of going through our day,
Yeah.
you know. And so it was saying to connect better to your dreams, you need to connect better to your waking life. And I thought that was really amazing.
That is, and it's one of those things I feel like we take for granted that we're awake. Like there are a lot of times, I'll admit, I'm in autopilot a lot during the day. Like,
Yeah.
even to the point where sometimes it gets scary. Do you ever hear of like highway hypnosis where you're driving and you
Yeah.
can't
Oh,
even
definitely.
remember how you got from point A to point B,
Yes.
but you got there?
Yeah. Yeah. And you were thinking, but then you don't even know what you were thinking about. It's like, where was I?
Oh, yeah. That scares me because there's a lot of times I'm like, especially when it's things that you do every day, like for me going to work. Like, I don't know
Right.
that I could recall all of the things that happened to me on the way into work, but I know some part of me has to be present because I'm able to get from a major highway from where I
Right. You
live
stopped
to
at the
work.
red light. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not fully present all the time with that, which is kind of scary now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's all connected. Like to be more intuitive, you've got to be fully, you know, aware in your waking life and talking to your dream life. Like it's all so more connected than I ever really thought about, you know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Well, I guess, well, if your dreams or like your subconscious or your higher self or whatever that is talking to you, that makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we be communicating with ourselves during the day also? So
Oh, I
yeah.
really think we are. And we get all these different like feelings and thoughts throughout the day. And they sometimes they do feel like they come out of nowhere, you know.
Mhm. Oh my
So
goodness.
it's like, where's that information coming from? And it's funny because I found a 10 things. Let's see. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh,
I'll see if I can
yes.
find it. Here it is. It's
Oh, Stacy, he's talked about. I have not. I've had people show me the trailer and the thing for it. I am excited to see this movie. And so I don't know the whole premise, but basically like they were
oh
tarot cards and like the characters come to life, and it's like
oh
it's a scary movie. I'm kind of excited for it.
oh that sounds cool. I haven't seen a trailer for
Yeah.
that
Oh
yet.
my gosh, I'll have to share it with you then after the show. I'll share it with you.
Oh my
It's
god.
really cool.
Oh, I guess I should show you the deck I got, huh?
Oh yes, please do.
Okay. So here's what happened. So I took my son wanted to stop by and see a friend of his. So and it's like in the next town over. So I took him to go see his friend. So it was mainly the trip was about him, but there's a wine store in that town and I had a gift card. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the wine store and get myself some wine. And so we went in the wine store and I got some wine. And as I'm coming out, and it's like this huge parking lot, and way off in the distance, I see something that said Bliss and Crystals. And I'm like, is that a crystal store? And so then I got in the car and I looked it up on my phone. And I'm like, it is a crystal store. And I'm like, so I said to myself, we're going to go in there and just walk around. I'm not going to buy anything. Haha.
I've never not bought something out of a crystal
Right.
shop.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. So it's this huge, beautiful store. I mean, thousands and thousands of crystals. They must have every crystal known to man. And then they had like lots of books and sprays and like they had everything. And so I was looking at the tarot cards because I recognized the deck that I have. And then all of a sudden I saw this.
Oh,
and I was like, oh my
that's
God.
like meant for
And look
you.
how beautiful this is. Okay, so here's the inside. And it has this wonderful little saying. I don't know if you could read it or not.
No, but I love it. It already looks gorgeous.
Right? It's so beautiful. It says, I dreamed I was a butterfly flitting around in the sky. Then I awoke. Now I wonder, am I a human who dreamt of being a butterfly, or am I a butterfly dreaming that I am human? It's by
I love that.
and it's got this big and the book is like it gives you like spreads and everything, but it also
Ooh.
like each card instead of it telling you more about what it means, it goes really deep into like the topic of what each card is. Like, then I can show you the cards. So it's got there's like that, and they've got like this gold. Do you love that?
Oh, I do love that.
And here's the back.
They're gorgeous.
It just has like cards like this.
That's gorgeous artwork too. I really do like that.
You know, so if anybody's into tarot, and I've never seen this deck, I always Google like dream books, dream decks and stuff, and I had never seen that one. So anyways, long story short, so I saw that and I was like, this must be why I'm here. Because prior to that, I was really depressed, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do anything anymore. You know, I don't know if I want to even involve myself with dreams or anything, you know, because I was depressed. Yeah. So of course I don't want to do anything now. And then I found this. I found this and I was like, okay, universe, I hear you.
Yeah. See, that's intuition right there. Like that's everything working behind the scenes. Like I really genuinely feel like sometimes there's a reason why we're pulled to certain places, or even just the fact that like when we go into a store, like even if we don't buy an item, like if something catches our eye and like we have a moment with it, like I think that those are those connected moments that are really supposed to spark something within us. I really do believe that.
Right. Yeah. And they had money spray too. So I sprayed I was trying to explain to my son, I sprayed the money spray. I'm like, walk through it. He's like, what? I'm a little press money to you.
Definitely walk through that.
So,
oh my goodness.
So, and I have a dream too that I can share with you, but I'm all over the place today. I'm sorry.
Do we want to do the 10 things before the dream, or do you want to do the dream and then the 10 things?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I just looked this up on the internet. I used like the chat GPT and I asked for 10 facts about intuition. And so this is what it came up with. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to like, you know, see what we think. So it says, number 1, intuition is often described as a gut feeling or a deep sense of knowing that arises without conscious reasoning, which I totally agree with.
Wait, can you read that again one more time?
Sure. Sorry.
No, I disconnected as you were reading it. I'm so sorry.
Intuition is often described as a gut feeling or a deep sense of knowing that arises without conscious reasoning.
Okay. Yep.
Which is what you read too. And
yeah, I agree with that actually.
I do too.
So that we can maybe tie into Kaylee had brought something up here. I wanted to bring it up one more time. And she was asking, would you say that intuition could be some part of paranoia or anxiety? So is this like if you feel paranoid or anxious, would that maybe be like an intuition thing kicking in? Could be, right? Depending on the situation, maybe.
I mean, for me personally, I feel like anytime I feel like I've experienced intuition, it feels very calm and very to the point. Like it doesn't create fear in me, even though like I had the experience of realizing I wasn't going to see my friend again. It was more of a knowing rather than a fear. And I'm a very fear-based person, and it didn't create fear. It just created a knowing. And then later it kind of, so I feel like, just my personal opinion, but I feel like if you are driven by thinking it's paranoia, I mean, I thought I was being silly. So if that's what you mean, you know, then yeah, but that's your emotion. Your emotion is putting that feeling in. It should, for me, I feel like it should just be like somebody just gave you a piece of information. You know?
Okay, yeah. So just however you're connecting with your emotions in that moment, whatever that means to you personally, then that's kind of like how you read that then.
That's your reaction to the information you got. And the fact that maybe you think you're being paranoid, well, I do that too. You know, I think, oh, that can't be right. And then it is.
You're not paranoid if people are really truth. Oh my goodness. So we were saying that the definition that they gave, that we're kind of like dead on with that one, right? We both agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you want to hear number 2?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so 2, Research suggests that intuition is a rapid subconscious process that integrates past experiences, emotions, and knowledge to arrive at a decision or insight. So that's very like science-based, right? But I also believe that not only are we getting information from ourselves, prior information, we're able to put something together, and before our conscious knows it, our subconscious does. But sometimes there's things that don't seem to come from us, that they couldn't come from us. So I think it can also be from an outside of us source, not just our subconscious.
I do definitely feel like there are at times, I don't know what you want to call it, but like an outside, not yourself, not even your higher self, but some other force out there, whatever you want to call it, a guide or whatever you want to call it, right? That I think that a lot of times, even like when we get something that, and we always say about like looking out for symbols or for like little notices from the universe, like I think that kind of even ties in with that a little bit. Like seeing something that wasn't necessarily you giving yourself that information. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, I know where I thought I was going with that, but like, kind of lost my own train of thought there. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like, we can get information from outside sources. I believe that. And then that works into our intuition, because why couldn't that connect to something on a subconscious level with us and make something click so that we get the information that we need? Does that make sense?
Because
I feel like
I guess some people would say that's more like a psychic moment, but I think these things all kind of like flow together in ways. It's all in the same system, I guess.
Yeah. Like on an energetic level, I feel like that's kind of like would float on the same plane. Yeah.
And I think when you're working with intuition and you're more open to relying on your intuition, I think that maybe it makes it more possible to have psychic moments and stuff where you get outside forces.
Did you see this from Stacy? I believe this 100%.
3 or 4 seconds for the ego thinking mind to kick in before the 3-second mark is pure intuition.
Which, like, I know for me, when I do readings for people, it's the things that I get right away are the things that I know to go with. Right. And if I have to sit with something for too long, I don't usually go with it, because I'm like, all right, that's just me creating a story at this moment, right? And
yes. And so it's hard to separate that, isn't it? Because you're like, I do that to myself too. I'll do something and I always write out my first impressions, and then I will build on it. But I always go back and I'm like, yeah, that's what that meant. So don't try to build a story, like you say.
Yeah, for real. And that's even too, when we do the, for that making sense of your senses, the workshops that we do with Get Haunted, when I go over the psychometry part of it, I always tell people it's the stuff that you get right away. That's your solid information. Anything after that is going to be, maybe there's a little bit of information there that's right, but now you're building a story out of whatever came to you. So he's right. It's that stuff that you get right away, and you're not, a lot of the times you don't even know why you're getting that information. I've already had people during those workshops are like, I don't know why it feels like I'm in a cave. And then like the story came out and they were like, the object that they were holding, the person that owned it, it was something that they had night fishing with them. And it's just like, it fits so perfectly with the things that they were getting, and they didn't understand why they were getting the information. So it's like, don't build the story, just take what you're getting. And and
it's okay to just have like one word or something. It doesn't have to be a whole story. It could just be, time period or cave or whatever.
Right. Yeah. But it made sense. Like once the other person discussed the story of, why they brought that object or where that object was with them, it all clicked into place. And it was one of those moments where like, wow, this, like, I know it works, right? Otherwise it wouldn't be part of the workshop. Like I wouldn't believe in it enough, but like, it was just, it's cool to see those things happen in real life with people that like, I didn't know anyone's backstory with that, right? Just to see that unfold in front of me, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, and that's pure intuition kicking in right there.
Yeah. Well, and think about it. And these are people who don't even like do this on a daily basis. They're just there for an event, and they're experimenting.
Yeah.
And just sitting down and focusing on it and having a little bit of guidance shows how much intuition we all really have.
It's great. We're so much more powerful, I think, than any of us realize. Oh, what is this? I love when Stacey chimes in with stuff. What is this? The RV protocol? Yeah. So
I learned a lot from that.
I love that course. Seriously too. And like when you get stuck, like okay, Stacey, help me out here with this, because I know I'm going to botch how to explain this. But you were saying too, in the one course, how like to put your pen you have to like put your pen down to reset yourself. Is that why that like it like levels
And then you
out?
have to
Right?
touch that ideogram that you drew in the
Yes.
beginning, and that works.
Oh my,
which just blows my mind.
God.
Like, how does that work? But
At
it
first,
does.
when he was explaining that at first in his course, I'm like, yeah, right. And then like I did it, I'm like, oh,
So weird.
Yeah, not that I didn't believe him, but I was just like, well, how? Like, how the heck?
Because it sounds so simple and so crazy, but yet it just works.
It does.
It shows our brains are so interesting how we can we have the knowledge that this is what this line means, and our brain assigns that, and then that's it. It works.
Just like so much information. It is literally just whatever the little squiggle is, right? Like, there's no way. Like, I'm like, how does all that information? But it does. Yeah. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, it's a physical. What did he say? It's a physical sign to the brain to start over. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Because
I've used that with dream interpretations. I've applied some of the stuff in Stacy's class. Because like I said, I feel like all these things are connected in a way, and you can take different things from different practices and use it. And so I will use that with dream interpretations. I will start off with something. And then if I feel like I'm going off, I'll like, okay, I need to reset and start over. And it really works.
I love that. And I love that that's like a meshing of like the non-physical and the physical, like just the act of putting the pen down and disconnecting from it is like, okay, hey, clean slate, let's do this again. Yeah. Totally works too, which is crazy.
It does. Let's see. I guess I'm on number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 is intuition can manifest in various forms, like you were saying, such as sudden insights, hunches, or a strong sense of certainty about a course of action. You pretty much said that.
Have you ever had, and I was trying to think of instances where intuition was like a big part of a situation for me. A lot of it's a thing that it hasn't happened lately, but it used to be a big thing for me, like maybe about a year ago. I would know when my phone was going to ring. Like I would reach for my phone before it rang, and a lot of times I'd actually know who was calling me. How are you gonna like out of the blue a phone call? Like I don't know. I would just like, oh yeah, I just like instinctively reach for my phone before it even rang because like I for some reason knew. That's I don't know how else to explain that other than an intuitive hunch. Like you're connected, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's interesting that you don't get it now. I'd be curious if you really focus that if it would come back to you or maybe in a different way. Because I used to get that when I would know when people were coming home. I would actually get up and look because I heard them come home, and then I would see them just pulling in, but I had already had the experience. And then like it's changed for me now. Like just the other day, and this is like just a fun stupid story, but there's a lipstick color that I really like, and I like very few lipsticks. I don't think any of them look good on me, and so there's one that I like that I'm wearing right now. And so they sell it at it's like Wet and Wild or something, and they have it at Rite Aid. And so Rite Aids, they were going to go out of business, and so they hadn't ordered stuff for a long time. And so they've been promising that they're going to get the makeup back in. And I could look somewhere else, but I haven't, And so I checked like for the last 6 weeks as my lipstick gets smaller and smaller and smaller. I keep checking and it's not there. And so I had gone to the pharmacy for something, and I'm like, something told me just go buy the lipsticks, right? And so I went by the lipsticks, and it's still completely empty. But there's one lipstick sitting there. I guarantee you it was not there before. Okay. Ooh. And I look at it, and it's in the right slot for my color. And I pick it up and I look at it, and I'm like, is this it? Because I went through everything, and there was for weeks, there's been nothing there. And it was the right color. And I was like, that is so crazy. Like, where was this lipstick for the last 6 weeks? I know they didn't just get an order of one lipstick. But I knew it was going to be there.
Would you have gone past the lipstick otherwise if you wouldn't have gotten that little hunch?
No, because I was there for a completely different reason.
that is intuition right there. Like, why else would you have gone
and
past
it was something
there?
funny, but I was happy.
I love that. Oh, it's Rachel.
Hi.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
what does this say? Number 4, many successful leaders and entrepreneurs attribute a significant portion of their decision-making process to intuition alongside analytical thinking. I think that I've heard a lot of people that are successful talk about, doesn't Elon Musk talk about that?
Yes. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. He's so mesmerized. Like I was watching some of the like I don't know if it's lectures, but like when he goes on different podcasts and stuff and him talking, I'm like, I don't know how he just knows all, like just the way he rolls, everything rolls off of his tongue. He knows exactly what he's talking about, and I
Yeah.
think he follows his. He just knows certain things. I don't know how to explain
Yeah.
it, but yeah, and I feel like they do different like I don't know if practices is the right word, but they work at that. Like it's not something that just comes, like they work on those skill sets
Yeah.
to get you into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people who do that kind of stuff, it's all about, like even in real estate and stuff, stock market, it's all kind of, you gotta have that little bit of an intuitive insight.
Oh, yeah.
That things move quickly and you have to know.
You would have to. And do you feel like too, like especially like with real estate and all that, like just working with different people all the time, like having to interact in certain ways, like you'll pick up on cues. So like you're kind of sharpening your intuition on different key things without even realizing it with that. I feel like, I don't know how else to explain that.
Yeah. I think that's really important. Yeah. I like that. Let's see. What did Eric say?
I know. I was just saying, can we pop this up? Is that, oh, there we go. Immediate cause.
That's very intuitive. The way it comes to me is usually without an immediate cause. The part I struggle with at times is trusting that the flash of insight is a valid insight or just random thought, considering the thought came to me without any provocation. It's been on point so many times. Is there a real way to tell the difference between a random thought and an intuitive insight? A lot of these have to do with knowing if someone is being honest with their words. Well, I feel like if you suspect somebody's dishonest, there's something in there. It may not be specifically what they're telling you at the moment, but there's a lack of trust. But that could come from yourself. It's like, do you do that with lots of people, or do you just do it with a particular person? You know what I mean? But I have found that I struggle with that too, especially when you're dealing with other people. It's like, is this just me overthinking or is this real? But I feel like in that case, it's good to journal these things and then go back and check yourself. Like, even like I go back and I look at things from 6 months ago and I've even like, I'm really good at keeping everybody's messages they sent to me. And I'm glad because like when people pass away, then I can go back and read, our friendship and stuff. And I've gone back and look at things where I thought, it was a certain way. And me looking at it now, it wasn't. So sometimes it's us, but I think sometimes we intuitively know that there's something wrong with a situation,
Oh,
you just gotta be careful not to accuse people of things, I think, but just know yourself.
Yeah, that would be a thing to struggle. Like I would struggle with too, would be like, yeah, I guess that is, it's like, do you know you're right? But I feel like I've had that with people where like my first gut feeling ended up being the way I should have just rolled with things. I've done that a lot over the years where like I'll get like that ping of like there's something, and it's always in something that someone does or says, and it just makes it's like a gut feeling that I get from that one interaction. I'm like, so like I'll note it in the back of my head, and then I kind of try to, but then like I try to ignore it, and then later on it's like, oh yeah, you remember that thing that you thought before? Hey, look, it happened, right? So maybe so I think it comes down to just learning to understand yourself a little bit more, like learning to rely on your own gut instincts on everything, right? So if you do it across the board, not just with people, you start, I think it's kind of like a muscle, like an underdeveloped muscle, right? You have to work at it. So like even just trusting yourself in those instances. And then when you get those feelings, you're just like, all right, yep, that's it.
Some point you're going to get a confirmation one way or another, and you'll start to know, like you start to understand your own intuition, because it might feel a little different for each person, So I think that it's just like everything else. If you journal it and you have a reference to go back and look and see, especially if you're dealing with another person, start journaling, what your intuitive self is saying and what's actually happening. And then a month from now, you might be like, yeah, see,
And then a lot of
could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you could be, but then like you can look at like why, right? Because maybe you misinterpreted a sign or a signal, or
Yeah,
I mean, it's a tool for growth, regardless of whether it's right or wrong at this
definitely.
point, right? Because there's a reference to go back to. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So now we're on 5.
Yes.
This is interesting. Number 5, intuition is not always accurate and can be influenced by biases, emotion, and cognitive shortcuts, leading
Oh,
to errors in judgment. But I feel like then it's not intuition. That's your conscious mind making these choices or thoughts.
wouldn't that be more of a okay? So if wait, can you read that one more time? Because there's a part of
Sure.
that where I'm like, oh, that's ego. It's not intuition.
Right. It says
Yeah.
intuition is not always accurate and can be influenced by biases, emotion, and cognitive shortcuts, leading to errors in judgment. But I think that's not intuition. Then I think intuition is always right.
I think so too. So at that, okay, so biases, would that not be like your ego or your overthinking? Like, wouldn't that be that kicking in? I don't think that's so to me, like that wouldn't count that as intuition then.
No, I wouldn't either. I think
Yeah.
that's wrong. That means it's not intuition.
Yeah. Like at that point, if you're overthinking, that's yeah, nope. Like what Stacy was saying, like the first couple of seconds, right? Like that's
Right. Yeah.
you
It's
getting
the
your
first
valid information.
impression. Yeah, it could even be like you get sick to your stomach. Like I think intuition can just be like that. Like you're
Oh
walking
yeah.
into a meeting and all of a sudden you feel like you're going to be sick. It's because your intuition is telling you something's bad going on here.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, okay, hold on. What is this? I'm going to bring up what Rachel said here real quick. It says intuition is very hard to learn and not brush off when you have downloads happening. It's crazy, but once you realize it is your intuition and not some random thought, and then you can put 2 and 2 together and they make sense. It is, yes, I agree with that. Like
Yeah,
once you start learning how to just trust the fact that these gut feelings are
right.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a gift. I mean, there's been times I haven't listened to my intuition when I was much younger,
Mm.
and it really was not good for me at all.
Yeah.
Really bad. And I knew. And then it's like, what do? That's why I did a whole thing about self-forgiveness. Because a lot of times people are, when bad things have happened, people blame themselves. And
Yes.
the last person that people tend to forgive is their own self for bad things that they've allowed to happen to them and stuff. But it's because intuitively you knew it wasn't going to be good. And that's why you're mad at yourself,
But you
because
didn't
on
listen
some
to
level you
yourself.
saw the red flag
Yeah.
and were like, oh.
Oh my gosh, that kind of clicks because I know I definitely for years second guessed everything, like right. Then later on, you find out, oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have second guessed myself. But
Yeah.
that's a big part of learning to forgive yourself because you're right, because it is some part of you knows that you knew, right? Like you knew
Yeah.
that. So it's
Yeah.
wow, yeah, that just clicked for me right there. I was like, oh crap, yep, that explains a lot for me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. 6, intuitive decisions are often made quickly, contrasting with analytical decisions that involve deliberate reasoning and weighing of pros and cons. Well, I mean, I guess like taking a street, like changing, I mean, I wouldn't make any kind of a huge decision. I wouldn't make it. I don't know. I mean, you have to be careful too to know, but
Yeah. So this is saying like making wait, read that one more time. I'm sorry. I'm so bad
that's
with
okay.
sorry.
No, it says intuitive decisions are often made quickly.
Okay.
But I feel like a decision that itself isn't like good verbiage because intuition is like knowing something. It's not a decision. I feel like
You're
the
not
decision
weighing
comes
it.
after you know something.
I agree, because a decision would be weighing options, right? But
Right.
intuition isn't weighing shit. It's like this is what it is, or here's the information, or here's the feeling that I'm gonna give you. Yeah, like okay, well, I've already done it, like where I knew it wasn't. Here's like because I knew it wasn't of any major consequence. If I'm driving somewhere and there's multiple ways to go, I'll do
Right.
this thing sometimes in the car. Like, well, I'll ask myself, okay, what road should I take? But it's like whatever road comes to me first, that's the one I go to. So I'm like, all right, like in the back of my head, like I giggled to myself. I'm like, okay, I was meant to go this way for whatever reason, right? Like kind of like a practice in intuition in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, can you consider that being making a decision? Because you're just like asking yourself, okay, which one? And then whatever came to me is the one I took. But I feel like that's like stretching making a decision though, like, because it's, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I do that too. There's like you said, there's multiple ways to get to the same place. And I
Yeah.
have like taken one street because of whatever reason. And then as soon as I make the decision, I think that's probably not going to work out. And it never does, you know. Sometimes my intuition is like, no, you shouldn't have done that. So
why? So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like making a decision would create. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. But I think in general, making a decision is an intuition because you're having to weigh something. So
right, yeah, because you're consciously making that decision. And I
yeah,
think that really, if you want to like exercise your intuition, then doing things like interpreting your dreams or trying to kind of think what your day waves. See, again, the trouble is that if you're thinking about it, you're already inserting your own thing. So I would say like doing dream interpretations, doing tarot,
oh
that
yeah,
kind of stretches your intuition because it's all intuitive work,
yeah,
right?
yep.
So
Like reading symbolism, like whatever comes to you
yeah,
first, and then reading into why it came to you first, and yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, I like the idea of working with symbols too, because I'm still taking that Reiki class and they have like, they show you the different symbols for the,
Yeah,
and I'm still learning them, but there's like one that was like, I think the power symbol. Is that one of them? Power symbol?
would have been like the chokure, like it's like the line with like the spiral.
Yeah. The one with the
Yeah, it's like
spiral. Yeah.
the power of the universe here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the one I was most drawn to because I liked the circular motion. I liked the way it flows, you know. And
There
so
is like a
so
flow
then
X, so it like
intuitively, what
funnels
does that
everything
mean?
in.
I think it's for me, I think it means I seek to have my own power in my own life, you know, and that's why
I
it means
love
something to me.
that. But
So
like
I'm
that's a personal connection to like that will
yeah,
connect your intuition to that symbol. So like it'll
right.
come to you then in certain forms. Oh, I love that. I love that a
Well,
lot.
and Reiki too is all intuitive work, isn't it? It
Mhm.
seems like to me you're
Yes.
feeling what areas, you know, have a different energy. And
Mhm.
so that's another great way, like take a Reiki course and
Oh my
learn
gosh.
about energy work.
And Reiki is great for that because once you've taken a course, like I've taken multiple courses because everyone does Reiki a little bit
Yeah.
different. So a big key thing that you should run the other direction is if someone tells you there's only one way to Reiki, don't believe them because that's horseshit. First off, like
Yeah.
just don't. Yeah, no. It becomes a very intuitive practice. It's how you personally connect with the symbols, what that means to you, and then how the energy flows through you because of the way that you're connecting with different things. And then like as you do it, you'll learn like whether you do like self Reiki or Reiki for others, like you'll feel where you get pulled to different spots and you're not even
Yeah.
necessarily sure why. When I first started, one of my cousin's friends, she was so sweet. She was like, oh, let's like, she was okay with doing like a Reiki party. So she had like 5 friends come over and I did Reiki for these 5 friends just to like get myself
Yeah.
into the practice of it because I was so new to it and like I didn't
Yeah.
know where else to start. So it was so sweet that she let me do this. And the one of the ladies that was there, I was doing the Reiki practice and everything, and I felt this pull towards, and it was on me that I felt it was weird because I was over her
Huh.
ribs, but I was feeling like there was some sort of like it just felt weird, like maybe at some point something was broken. So like after the session and everything, we were having a little discussion, and I was like, I don't mean to sound weird, but I felt like a pull towards the ribs, and here like at one point she had broken her ribs, and like right where I was feeling it on myself was exactly where it
Oh,
had happened on her, and it was just like this
wow.
really cool interaction where I feel like that's a little bit of like an intuitive
Oh,
energetic
yeah,
exchange there. Yeah.
definitely. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, it was a cool experience.
Let's see. What was I on? 7?
Yes.
I think
Oh, and
7.
Katie's even agreeing that everyone Reiki's a little differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the course I'm taking, that's what she said, that you should do it how it feels right to you, that it is definitely your intuition that's working on, which is funny because like I said, I started taking that course like a year or 2 ago. and it didn't seem to, I just wasn't interested, I guess. And I thought, oh, that's just not my thing. And then it came to my mind a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to relook at that. And I started watching. I was like, oh, wait, I'm totally into this now. And so then I redid it and I've been going through it. And it's funny how it all flows for the right time. Like I needed to be where I'm at now to be able to work with that kind of understanding,
But like the fact that you had it, like I feel like too, that's happened to me with books. Like I'll buy a book and I don't even know why the hell I bought it. But then later on, it ends up being something that I need in that moment later on.
Yeah.
It's almost like your intuition working without you realizing that it's working. It's like,
yes,
this course.
Yeah.
But right now you weren't into it, right? But then like into the future, you ended up like it's something that's now valid for what you're going through right now. So yeah, I just feel like it's like an outreach of intuition.
Yeah, because think about like we like have these desires of where we want to be or what we want to know and stuff, but maybe there's many steps we have to take to get there. But because it's in our mind and our intuition knows, and we do see the book, it just has you grab it, because it knows we will need this, and here it is.
At some point you'll need it. Yeah. Even if it sits and collects dust for like a year, then like at one point you're going to need it and you're going to be really happy that you have it available to you. So yeah. Absolutely.
Let's see. I keep switching back and forth. Okay. 7. Some studies suggest that intuition can be enhanced through mindfulness practices, self-awareness, and experience in specific domains. I thought it said dreams, but it says domains.
I would say yes. The more you work on something, right?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hands down.
I love this one. Number 8, intuition is not limited to humans. Animals also have intuitive behavior, such as sensing danger or finding food sources. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Have you ever my dog that I had previously, Maya, she would know when a storm was coming, even if it didn't look like it was going to be storming. She would have like all the signs that a storm's coming and freak out and be hiding in the bathroom. It could be sunny out, and then like all of a sudden the clouds roll in. I'm like, oh, she knew that was coming. Yeah.
It's like, oh no. You got to watch the animals. I feel like watching animals is important because they hear like the earthquakes coming. They're supposed to. I was in the Landers quake and my dogs were asleep. It was like, why are you asleep?
I don't know if you do any hiking or anything, but like they always like, this is one of those weird things that is always in the back of my mind. When the insects and the birds stop, there is something wrong. You know what I mean? So like even like they know something's up, then if as soon as they go quiet, you should be worried because
that's a thing for sure. They all go quiet. Birds, if all the birds take flight.
Oh my gosh, no, definitely. I feel like they're so in tune. Yeah. Michael, me and you both, and my hip. Like I'll know a storm is coming because my hips hurt.
Let's see. Okay, I'll do 9 and 10.
Okay.
9. Intuition can be particularly useful in situations of uncertainty or when there is incomplete information, allowing for quick adaptation and response. I love that because I think that's true. If you get stuck, and sometimes, like even my mom asked me the other day, I dropped my thing. She said I was trying to make a choice about something, and she says, "Well, what does your gut tell you?" So I mean, you already know the answer. And Sarah used to always say that to me. You already know the answer. It's it's there.
True though, right? Like why do we second guess ourselves with certain things? And we can fill in the blanks without even realizing that we can. It's just
we don't trust. We should trust ourselves, right?
We really should.
And then they wrapped it by saying, number 10, cultivating a balance between intuition and rational thinking is often recommended for optimal decision making, combining instinctual insights with logical analysis.
I mean, it keeps you grounded, right?
Yeah. That's basically what it's saying. Don't stay grounded.
Don't be like floating off in the clouds or like whatever. But I agree with that one. It takes everything is balance, right? I do believe that. Oh, I liked those. Those were good.
Yeah. So that was what I got that from chat. I just asked Chat GPT. I want to see what they would have to say or it or whatever.
All of them except the one that we both didn't agree with. Everything else I agreed with, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So you had a dream, or how did this work? You had a dream with intuition, or?
Yeah. Well, the dream, well, after my friend passed away, I for like the first few days I had no dreams at all. I don't think I was sleeping very
Oh.
well.
Oh.
I had nothing. It was just like blank. And then I started for about the first like few days after that, I kept having dreams that I was in the car with another person, which I thought was a woman. I never actually saw her.
Okay.
And we were always lost and we were confused and we didn't know what we were supposed to be doing. And it was dark outside and I couldn't see anything but like the headlights in the road. And I remember feeling very like lost and insecure about the situation. So I feel like that was my mind working through the grief process, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so just the other day I had a dream. And like I said, I haven't really analyzed it. I get the idea of it, but I thought it might be fun to share it with you and then have you pull a card.
Yes.
Just, you know. So basically, I was in an old house that I used to live in as an adult, but in the dream, I was a child. So it's like, you know, I'm insecure, right? I took it to mean that I was insecure about something. I'm not too sure why that house came up. I haven't figured that one out yet. But there was a light switch in the bedroom and I kept turning the light switch on but it was turning on a light outside. And in my dream, I was like flipping the switch and going, why is it outside? And as I would turn it on, there was a bunch of junk outside and like a gray pickup truck and everything outside was like gray. And so I kept flipping the switch and thinking, I don't know why this is. And then I realized, wait, you can see all this junk out here. So I just turned off the switch because I didn't want anybody to see the junk. And so, which is interesting, right? And so then all of a sudden I heard like this sizzling noise. And I look and the room has filled with water, like probably ankle deep. And there's that light for whatever reason is also plugged in inside the room, only it's underwater and it's sparking and sizzling. And so then this man came in, which I thought in the dream was my father, but he's not my real life father. And he fixed it for me and told me, you know, it's fine. It's not dangerous. You're going to be fine. And he just fixed it and unplugged it. And then the next thing I knew, I was in a shopping mall and there was an escalator going up and I was kind of standing in front of it. And I noticed that there was I said that there was a gray robot, but it reminded me of a satellite dish, which to me meant like communication, right?
Oh, okay.
And so, but I mean, overall, I think that it was me working through the grief process and stuff, but I was just curious to see what your cards would say about it.
Yeah. So this whole time I've been holding cards as you were talking, just to like kind of see. And right before you jumped into the main part of the dream there, I had pulled two different cards, right? So what I'm getting from this, and obviously if you see something different, go with what you're seeing. But so when you first started, I pulled a card and 4 of Wands. So 4 of Wands is like that, the stability, that center, that reason to just like everything is secure. So it's almost like trying to work through finding a sense of security again, or a sense of like a base. I don't know if that makes any sense, but in doing that also it was kind of like a give and take of energy there. So I don't know, like whatever you're working through, it was like a give and take of energy, because 3 of Pentacles is all about figuring out your skill set and sharing knowledge. So kind of like, just seems like your dream in general was like you had even mentioned, like just like working through grief, working through the process of what's going on. So then when you really got into the dream, I got, what is this? This is 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is practicing your skills, honing your skills. This is someone who's very gifted in what they're doing. So this may have been your intuition's coming in strong for this. So whatever, like, I don't know symbolism with dreams. I don't know. This is definitely your realm, but like you brought up gray a lot. So I don't know if gray means anything to you. I just feel like whatever was coming through to you in these dreams is going to really, it's your intuition was hitting home with something that's going on for you with that. Yeah. So that's where I got like, with the 8 of Pentacles, I'm like, that's your skill. You are the master of that skill set. So that is definitely something that's coming to you for like a whatever the knowledge is that's there. It's meant for you to like really pick that one apart and look at it for yourself in whatever way that hits you. When you were talking about the man who came in like a father figure kind of a thing, right? It was fun because it was King of Pentacles, right? So Pentacles can be like the material world. They can be about money, but it's also a symbol for grounding, for feeling centered. And the fact that it was the King of Pentacles, this is like, he would be more of like a father figure. He would be a mature male. So it was just kind of like maybe a masculine energy coming into the scene to make you feel secure in a situation. And in the dream, he fixed the light for you, right? So
Yeah.
just feel like that may have been some part of yourself also coming in saying like, hey, you're working through something. It's going to be okay. And it really is just a process. So this is, what is this? The 3, 4, 5 of Wands. This, to me, this card's always been like, dogfight always comes to mind for me. It's a struggle, not necessarily like nasty, but it's like no one's really paying it. Like everyone's like, it's all like wild energy all over the place. Like no one's really listening to each other, right? A little bit of chaos, right? So this could be like working through the emotions, working through grief, working through whatever. Like it's just it's scattered, but it'll work itself out. But like right now, it's just kind of like poof out there. I don't know if like any of that makes sense.
No, it totally does, because scattered is so I tend to describe the way I am to other people as being scattered because I always have like a hand in everything. And so that's my, and needing to be grounded for sure, you know, picking a path, not 100 paths. And even like my emotions would be the same way because that's just how I am, you know. And the gray to me kind of felt like, it was interesting because the house I felt like wasn't, you know, me and the current situation. And then, but the yard is like part of that house, but it was still outside of me. And so, and the fact that it was gray, because I felt like, to me, when I thought of gray, I thought it's just kind of something that is in between light and dark. It's not light, it's not dark, it's not black, it's not white, it's just in between, which really, you know, so it's like being stuck in a place and not choosing where you're going to be. And then the water coming up could be like the emotions, and then the danger, you're going to get electrocuted just staying here, because I was staying in the room, and it's like it's going to kill you if you stay in this gray area. Right?
Oh, okay. So that's, wow. Okay, that's a lot of information in one drink. Wow, Dee. That's there's a lot there. We have people came in, but so do you feel like that was more like, I know dreams are always your intuition, but do you feel like this was more like a message to yourself for a specific reasoning, or?
Yeah, I think it was just letting me know that if you stay in this mindset, because like I said, I was like, I'm just going to quit everything. I don't want to do anything. We're all going to die. Like, you know, when people pass away, you get into a weird place. And so
yeah, you get into a funk,
like,
and sometimes it's hard to see your way out.
Yeah. And so it was telling me, if you're going to stay in this little gray area, this box, this old way of thinking from a different, immature, because I was a child, way of thinking, it's going to be fatal to you, you know. And then the man comes in who's so calm, and he's just like, no, it's fine. You just got to unplug it. You're good, you know.
So kind of like resetting yourself, like just, yeah. Oh, wow. I love how it's you giving yourself advice basically on that one. Yeah.
It's telling me what to do. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, we are at our mark. We have something that we're going to bring up. Before that, I'll let Dee talk on that. But before that, I just wanted to thank everybody so much for coming on and for just sharing this evening with us. Should we do one card here?
Anybody wants a card? Yeah.
Okay. All right, sir.
Oh, there's another one too here. I'll star it. Let's see.
Okay. So this one is.
Yeah, if you guys want a card.
I need a validation card on this. All right, Stacey, you got Page of Cups. And the first thing that I noticed, I'll show it to you. Hold on one second. Ooh, okay. So, Page of Cups. Boop. First thing I noticed was the fish in the cup. And so a lot of times with the Page of Cups, this is they call it like a like a birth card, like that something is being birthed into reality. And then this doesn't necessarily mean children. This could mean a new mindset or a new way of thinking about something that's more, so since it's cups, I would say more emotional based. If it's a thought or like a new project that's coming up, this is going to be something that you either feel extremely passionate about or something that's very connected to your intuition. And I feel like maybe intuition with this one, because you got King of Swords, and swords are all about like your thought processes. And the first thing with the King of Swords that I saw was, I don't know if you guys can see this, there's a butterfly above his head. Butterflies to me are very transformative. So this would be more like an intuitive, something that's connected to your emotions, some form of transitioning into a new thought process or a new project that is very thought oriented. I don't know how else to explain that. I don't know, Stacey, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's what I'm getting with this. If you saw something different, obviously you got to go with your gut on that one. But kind of like that, a new process that's either going to be very powerful with intuition or thought or both. So I like that. All right. Oh, we have. All right. Who else do we have? Then we have. All right.
Starred 3 more.
Okay. All right, my dear. Okay, so you have Knight of Wands, and I might pull another one here. So the first thing I actually saw on this one was the wand itself. So wands are it's action, it's passion, it's anything to do that, like anything that's going to like really spark that fire inside of you. And the fact that it's a knight's not standing around. The knight is charging into battle, he's charging into whatever. So this is something, whatever is going on for you right now is going to be something that's going to spark passion very, very swiftly. Let me pull another card for this because I feel like I need something to bounce off of. Ooh, okay. So obviously I do not know your story. I do not know what's going on, but you have Knight of Wands, right? So this is fast moving passion for something, but this is also something that's going to fuel your self strength, something that's going to feel, you're going to feel very empowered. So whatever decision that you're thinking about making, if there's something that you're considering that would be kind of like, I want to say ego boost in a bad way, but ego boost in a good way, like that makes you feel good about yourself. This is the time to do it, I would say. Definitely be on the lookout for something that just like sparks an interest that you weren't sure if you had an interest for anymore. It's something that sparks it, and it's going to be a very empowering situation. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If it doesn't make sense now, maybe in a couple of days, you're going to feel something that reignites some sort of strength and passion within you. I don't know. I know that doesn't sound... It's just what I'm getting though, so I'm going to go with that. Let's see. We have Kaylee. Oh, you have a card that's trying to jump. Hold on. I guess we're going with it. Pull another card right away with it. Boop. Okay. So Temperance tried to jump for you. So Temperance is about balance. So I don't know if you can see on this one, this angel has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the land, and they're kind of like pouring water between 2 cups. So this is more like a fluidity and balance and energy. So this is trying to restabilize a situation. So if you had been going through something where you're questioning yourself or something didn't seem right, this is going to be an energy that's going to be flowing in, that's going to like calm the waters, kind of like make things feel rebalanced. And you also got the Justice card. So this is, if you were feeling slighted or if you were feeling like something was off, whatever that is, pay attention to signs around you, because you're coming back into a time of rebalance. And even like with Justice, there's the balance on here. And it's all about like the give and take and the righting any wrongs. So it's just like a rebalancing of energy around you, which I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Then we had 2 more here, right? Big Daddy and
Yes.
I don't know why. This is like a really random thing that came. I talk a lot faster when I don't know what that is. I noticed that the other day when I pull cards, I start rambling and I'm like, oh, I don't know why I do that.
Because all the thoughts are coming to you so quickly, probably.
That might be what it is. Like, why can I not just slow down when I'm reading? Okay, so you have. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles, and then I also pulled a Page of Pentacles figure. So 10 of Pentacles, you can see this. This is like a really stable, happy fate. Like there's a younger couple, an elderly man, and then dogs. So this is like this complete family situation and a lot of stability, right? So with this, it's not, how to explain this card? It's a very secure foundations. There might not be these massive lavish things happening, but there is this sense of security, right? So this is a very grounded security. And the Page of Pentacles would be okay. I don't know if there's, for some reason, money came to mind with this one right away. And Pentacles does deal with money, right? So Page of Pentacles could be some kind of new avenue for a financial or something stability, like something stabilizing with your finances, or some kind of new avenue for finances to flow in for you. So I don't know if you have like a project or something you're thinking about trying or doing, but I feel like it's a good grounded situation. So like right now, like go for it. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't think that it would be wrong to go for something new in that situation.
I want that reading. I like that.
All right, one last line here. Michelle. Hold on. Let me reset the deck. Sometimes when you're feeling like you're not certain, like there are times where I'll be like, oh, I have to reset the deck. It's because I'm not certain about what I just pulled is for the person. So knocking 3 times, or, you know, if you have the time, saging or whatever kind of situation that you do for cleansing, I like the knocking 3 times. I feel like it energetically cleanses the deck.
I never knew about that until you told me, and now I make a habit of making sure I clear the deck.
And it's a nice little tool. Okay, so I have 4 of Swords for you. Okay, this makes sense now. So I pulled 2 cards. The first card I pulled was the 4 of Swords. So when you see this one, this is a card where there's somebody laying down. They're also, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like they're in a church because it's stained glass. And just like the whole ambiance of the card is more of it's a time needed for rest, and that you can give yourself that rest because you're in a secure area. Because for a lot of people, churches or places of worship are like a secure, like you're going to be spiritually protected, but you need to give yourself the rest. So when I pulled the second card, it was just to understand how to read the 4 of Swords, because there are different meanings for it. The Hanged Man is one of those cards where you're giving too much of your energy away. It's more of like a martyr card. Like you're so worried about like taking care of other people that you're kind of neglecting yourself a little bit. So that's what makes me think that for the 4 of Swords, it's just the universe is telling you, you need to give yourself time to rest. And everybody else will be okay. They'll work it out for them. Like they'll work out what they need to. You need to make sure that you give yourself the time, attention, and love for yourself, because you can't give from an empty cup either. You know, it's one of those things where, I do this, I'm guilty of this too. You always want to make sure everyone else is okay. And then at the end of the day, you forget to take care of yourself. But like you become very like an empty vessel then, right? Like you need to make sure that you're giving yourself the same love and attention that you give everybody else. And that's just kind of what those cards are saying. Like, make sure you give yourself that little bit of extra love too. And everyone else in the end will be grateful for that, because you'll be able to give more when you're giving to yourself. I don't know how else to explain that.
No, that's true, because you can end up resentful. You know?
Yes, absolutely. But yeah. I don't know what it is about the cards. I get really thirsty when I'm pulling.
That's interesting. I tend to get very tired, or sometimes I'll like feel sick after doing too many readings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like that's an energetic thing too.
I think you saw Michael's.
Oh, who's off topic? Oh, Okay, I will read. I saw that I had something. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, Michael. So I will definitely, I'll go do that after the show then. I did see that something was sent to me. So sorry, I didn't get to sit down and read that yet. But yeah, so before I bring this up, or I can bring this up and we can be on the side. For Kathy, are you okay if I bring this up now before we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just made a little memorial for her so everybody could remember who she was. And
so I'll take us down then so that you guys can properly read this. But this show is dedicated to Dee Dee's friend, and I'm so glad that we got to do this for her and that intuition became a topic. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Seriously, this is amazing. This was beautiful. And to everybody on the side, before I pull us down here, just thank you for spending your evening with us and hope that you have a lovely rest of your evening. Anything else that you want to say before I pop us down here?
No, just thanks for everybody coming on. And if you have any thoughts or dreams or about tarot or dreams, just send us.
Yes, let us know. All right, everyone, have a lovely evening.
Bye.